you doing? It is Ray again. In the last video, we talked about laying down your drums, and we had our guitar tracks and our bass tracks going. What I want to talk quickly in this video here is about something that definitely impacts us hard rock and heavy gain metal guys with our amps, and that is stripping the silence out of the tracks. And what that is taking these spaces here where it's the silence in between where we're playing and we pause, and our amps, because they're high gain amps, a lot of times you'll hear a little bit of hiss in the background, or you'll hear the humming, or just background noise that's associated with the high gain amps. And what this does is it helps us take that out. And what I like best about that is it really gives the guitar sound a good punch. If you're playing something and then you get to that pause where it's supposed to be quiet, if you hear the hiss and the hum, it just doesn't sound as good, and it just kind of accentuates the fact that you've got this high gain amp that's hissing in the background, and it sounds kind of crappy. A couple different ways you can help avoid that, and that's through a noise gate like an MXR noise gate, or I actually use the Decimator. Decimator is a great pedal because you can really sense that it's got a great simple one knob, sets the adjustment so that you can get it right at that hair there, so that it's not cutting out, and it does a great job of not affecting my tone, but just cutting out that unwanted noise. So anyway, that's one way. The other way is going through here, of course, and then you want to get that silence out, that part between the song here. You can see it here. Now, one of the ways you can do it, you can go up into audio here, and you can use this tool here, click on your track and strip silence. And what the system will do is it will go through, Studio One will go through and it'll take out all these different parts, and you can kind of set the sensitivity on how much you want it to cut out. I personally like to do it by manual. I like to go through and do it myself. And there's a couple different reasons for that. Number one, there may be those little small shadow notes, or whatever you want to call them, the sound of my delay, maybe that slapback delay that you hear for a second, or it might just pick up something that I want to keep in there, that it will take it out, and I want to keep it in. So I go through my tracks and do it manually, and it's real easy. Basically just going in here in Studio One, clicking on edit, and just going through and finding these spots. They're easy to see. Right here you can see that this little line here in between where I'm playing, and then here's a pause, so you can kind of hear it all. So you can see that spots there where I'm playing, and it just has these silence, these spots, these little gaps here. And what we can do is we can get rid of that. So what we want to do is, if you've got your grid snapped on here, go ahead and turn that off so that you can get right up in there and take out where you want, the exact area. And then go up here and make sure you're not on your arrow tool, but that you're in your range tool. Click on your range tool, and then go in and just go through your track. And then, for example, right here, don't go too far over. If you start cutting too far in here, you're going to start taking part of your song, and it's going to cut too hard, and it's going to sound bad. So kind of take it right up in there, and then I take it right up to where the playing starts coming back in, and you can see the note coming back in, and then just hit delete, and it'll cut it out. And what that'll do, it'll give you that hard, nice punch, that good cut tone that you're looking for when you're playing, and it won't have that extra back, that unwanted noise. And so I literally just go through and delete, so you can hear that definitive. So I can hear in the back, I don't know if you can hear it as well as I can on my monitors, I can hear a little bit of the hiss that's going on back there. And so again, here you can see that the note is coming back down, and then it goes into the lowest point right here. And so I usually take right about here where it's almost inaudible, and then I just take that and I delete, and I go through the whole track and do it that way. Something like here is probably a finger slide across one of the thicker strings, and probably has one of those little kind of sounds, and so I go ahead and take those out. So basically just going through and taking out all those different, here's a big one here. I go through and I take this out like that. So anyway, that's going through and just taking out all the silence. And what it also does is it opens up all that real estate. When you start getting to a lot of different tracks, you know, you have, let's say, 2 to 4 guitar rhythm tracks, and then you've got your leads, and you've got your bass, and you've got all that other stuff that's coming up in here. What you can do is take all that stuff out, so it really kind of cleans up what you're using, you know, and you're not just filling your entire space up with tracks and really bogging down your CPU. So a definite cool little feature here. So again, that's really going through and stripping out your silence, stripping out the silent parts of your track. Again, I like to do it by hand just because it's, you know, you can really take out what you want and not cut too much and keep the parts you want. So once you're done there, just go up, hit save, and then of course you have your track, got all the silence taken out of your track. So just something I wanted to make sure I added for, you know, for when you're recording high gain and stuff, you know, the more gain you have, sometimes it seems, you know, you don't want to put too much gain in there. But when you start adding gain, you start getting a little bit of background noise in these, you know, dead spots here where you're not playing or you're palm muting between palm mutes or whatever. So if you have any questions or anything, let me know. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll talk to you later.